Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Monica if you're new here, and I just had a baby. Like, how exciting is that? He came 1 week early. I was induced because of a medical reason, and he's happy and healthy and he's here with us, and we're just like so over the moon and excited. So jumping right into the video, I wanted to film what I actually ended up using in my hospital bag because I feel like I didn't necessarily overpack. I felt like very prepared, but I ended up only using like 7 things. I did record what I ended up packing, so I'll link that video like up here somewhere so you guys can check it out if you haven't done so already. But I basically only ended up using a couple of things, and I felt like I watched a ton of these videos in preparation for packing my hospital bag, so this might help a few of you guys out. If you're having a baby, congratulations. It is amazing. I'm not gonna lie, it's definitely challenging. He's been with us for about a week now, and I will say that it's much harder than I had thought. It's super important to have a supportive partner, and I'm just like super thankful and lucky to have my husband. He's been really great and supportive and really been helping me out. But also it's really important to like prepare yourself mentally and physically because labor is not for the weak. And I knew it wasn't gonna be easy walking into it, but I have a whole like new-found respect and a new level of just understanding for moms that have gone through the same thing. So anywho, enough blabbering. Let's go ahead and jump into the video and let me show you guys what I actually ended up using in my hospital bag. So I was totally expecting to take a shower at the hospital after labor. I also wanted to have a vaginal delivery, but I also was open to having a C-section if worse came to worse. And I ended up not taking a shower. I thought I was going to take one, but I ended up not taking one. So anyway, all the stuff that I had packed for like the bathroom and my Crocs for shower shoes and like my robe and everything, I ended up not using any of it. So what I did use was these guys right here. They're slip-on Birkenstocks made by Papilio, I think is the brand. They're made in Portugal, if you didn't know. But I was totally influenced by TikTok to buy these. They are clunky and heavy, but they're just like really cute, and I've been obsessed with them. So I did find them on sale. I can go ahead and try to link them if they still have them. But these were great for walking around the hospital room because I don't like walking around the hospital room in just socks. And moving on to socks. Socks are definitely one of the things that I ended up using. I packed regular socks and then fluffy socks with like grips on the bottom. I'll go ahead and show you guys what those look like here, or I'll link them in the description box. I did end up using those, and I ended up not using the ones that the hospital provided me with. I also ended up bringing my own nightgown. I think I talked about this in the other video too. These are from Amazon. So I have 2 of these actually, and they were black. I preferred black just because, you know, if I were to leak or I were to get dirty, you probably wouldn't be able to see it on black, so that's why I went with the black color. I got a long sleeve one, and then I also got a short sleeve one, and I have been living in these. These are like, I think I got these in a size large, and they go down to my knees, and they're just super comfortable. They're also great for breastfeeding because they do have buttons down the front of the shirt itself, and they're just super comfy, and comfort is what you are going for in the hospital. You don't need to impress anybody with like fancy pajamas. So this robe, very similar to the nightgown that I packed, is from Amazon, and it's this like waffle knit material. It's got like white stitching around it. It's really nice. It's not long, but I thought I would end up using it and I actually did not use it. So that's one of the things that I kind of regret packing. I also packed like a towel for the shower and like soap and that kind of stuff. Didn't end up using it. I mean, better safe than sorry, but ended up not using it. I also talked about my toiletry bag. My toiletry bag came in clutch, I'm not gonna lie. I did use this quite a bit. So I packed it with just like my hairbrush, toothpaste, toothbrush. I put Jake's stuff in here. What else did I put in here? Like deodorant, lotion, floss. We did end up using the floss. So the toiletry bag was something that I did use and something that I would recommend if you're packing a hospital bag, because it was really nice to just go ahead and hang this off like the handicap like railing that they had. And I had all my stuff in one place, so it was really easy. Like if I told Jake like, hey, can you go in the bathroom and grab me whatever, he knew exactly where it was because it was like dangling right there. And this also has like mesh pockets in it, so it's really easy to see everything in here. So I did end up using my toiletry bag, and then I ended up using a mask because you have to use a mask in the hospital. They supply you with plenty, but figured I'd go ahead and throw that in there. And then I also ended up using, like for postpartum, I don't know, like after delivery self-care. This was all provided by the hospital, by the way. Like if you go into the bathroom, they had all this stuff like on shelves, which I really appreciated. They had like pads, they had extra mesh underwear, they had a whole bunch of stuff. So I ended up using Tucks for post care. Again, the hospital has these, but I wanted to be prepared. I brought my own. I ended up not using them, but it's one of those things where I'm glad that I did pack it, and I've been using it daily since we've gotten home. And then the other thing that I also packed that the hospital already had ready for me was the Dermoplast, which is just, yeah, a spray, self-explanatory. But I'm glad I also brought this with me as well, just because I didn't know if that they would have it, but they did have it, which was really nice. They also had the Perry bottle. They had a whole bunch of other stuff. So if you're thinking about packing that kind of stuff, I would say skip it. Or if you're like me and you want to make sure that you are prepared and you have it in your bag, then go ahead and pack it. This stuff didn't take too much space in my rolly suitcase, and I appreciated myself for packing it, even though I ended up not using it. And then obviously, speaking of my rolly suitcase, that thing came in so clutch. Again, I found it really easy to be able to wheel it in and out of the room. Actually, Jake wheeled it in and out. But it was just really nice not having to lug around like a large bag that was really uncomfortable for us to carry. So we stuffed basically everything into the rolly suitcase. I think Jake actually had his own bag. And then this is like the biggest mind blow that we ended up using. Jake borrowed a, what's it called? He borrowed one of those like beach baskets that are on wheels. That thing was so handy because we had people bring us like flowers and like gifts, and also we had pillows with us. That's one of the things that we brought that we ended up using, along with blankets. Also really glad we ended up bringing those with us because the hospital pillows and blankets weren't that nice. But anyway, it was really nice to be able to put it in the basket, and he just like wheeled my suitcase and his backpack and like all the other stuff that we had with us in the basket. And I was like, I guess it's a wagon on wheels. And I made so much fun of him. I'm like, we're not going to use that. That is so silly to bring with us. But we ended up using it, and we ended up loving it. So if you have one of those, bring it with you because it's really easy to transport, like from labor and delivery. Once you get into your own room, really easy to transport your stuff, and makes it really easy on your spouse. Y'all ready for the real MVP of the whole hospital bag? It's this guy. Okay, I packed a hospital fan, or not, what's it called? Not a hospital fan. Oh my gosh, a stroller fan. So I ended up packing a stroller fan, and this came in so handy. This is like the number one thing I recommend everybody packs. When I was in labor, I put it on my bed, and I turned it on, and it kept me cool. And anytime it started drooping or anytime it turned off or whatever, Jake was standing right there to turn it back on. And anytime it like drooped in my face, I'd be like, where's my fan? So it came in clutch. I got really hot and sweaty, and I'm really glad that I brought one of these. I was talking to some of the hospital workers though, but I guess that they have these. But if they don't, I 10 out of 10 recommend that you bring this. Like, I'm so glad that I brought the fan. That's like the number one thing that enough blabbling about it. It's just fantastic. On to the last couple of items. I did bring nipple cream, and it's not something that the hospital had, and I'm really glad that I brought it with me because when I started breastfeeding, it's really painful, and I don't think people talk about this enough either. And I did get a couple of blood blisters, which obviously was really uncomfortable. And when your baby's latching on you, also very uncomfortable. So anyway, I don't have to explain everything, but I'm really glad that I ended up bringing this. I did end up using it on our second night there, and I've been using it ever since we got home. I also got 2 other creams to put on there, and it's just relieving. That's the only way I can describe it. I did notice that my baby, these are like super safe, so you don't even have to wipe them off when you're breastfeeding, but I did notice that my baby does not like the taste of it. So when I give him the boob, he pushes it away. He does not want it if the cream is on there, so I have to like wipe myself down and then we go and breastfeed. But this one is great. So this one is the Earth Mama Organic Nipple Butter. It's good. I don't have I think I like the lotion kind better just because your fingers don't have to go into the cream. But to each their own, it's fine. I also ended up bringing baby wipes. The hospital has a ton of wipes there. I just preferred these, and I'm glad I brought them because I did go to the hospital wearing makeup, and when I was in labor, my mascara started running on my face, and the nurses were so great and amazing. They were like wiping off my makeup for me, but I did like having wipes ready that I liked, just so that way I could like wipe myself, and yeah, I just found them to be really helpful. One of the things that I didn't end up using is, of course, my makeup. So I did pack like a little Ziploc baggie of makeup, and I ended up not using any of it because that's like the last thing on your mind when you're giving labor. Another thing that the hospital totally supplied, but I also ended up bringing my own, is these these cold packs. They're amazing. I ended up actually ordering a lot more. I didn't think that ice packs would feel good, but they felt amazing, and I'm so glad that I ended up using these. Also, side note, I race dirt bikes, and this is like one of the things that I'm gonna start bringing with me because you snap it and it turns into an ice pack, but it's stored as a dry item. It's amazing. It's mind-blowing. I don't know why I didn't use them like just for racing on their own, because you could totally pop them and like put them on your forehead and cool yourself down with it and not be like gross and wet trying to put ice in a Ziploc bag. Anyway, I have a huge box of them, so I'm gonna end up using them for racing, I think. And then I ended up using my baby book, and I'm so glad that I brought it because at the end of our stay, we had to go to a baby class. And then I brought in my book. They stamp your baby's feet onto a piece of paper as like a little keepsake, but I ended up bringing my own baby book, and they stamped his feet and his hands directly into the book, which I really appreciated. So if you guys are planning to do a baby book, I wasn't planning on doing one, but I'm so glad that I actually did. And I took one of my girlfriend's advices, and I brought the baby book with me, and I'm so glad that I did. So that's one of the things that I did end up using, and I would highly recommend you guys bring if you were thinking about doing a baby book. And for the baby, I actually didn't end up using a lot of the stuff that I packed for him either. Surprise, I know. I did end up using these like little onesies. He was born 6 pounds 9 ounces. He's a really little guy. He fits into preemie clothes, and this isn't preemie, this is newborn, but most newborn clothes don't fit him. These are made by Gerber, and I love these because they have built-in mittens on the onesies, so you can just flip it over and his hands are protected, so that way he doesn't scratch himself with his fingernails. So I did end up using this onesie. I packed like 3 outfits, but they were all so large on him. I did end up packing socks as well. They were all large. I ended up using one of them, and then I ended up using the blanket from the hospital. And I think that was it. I brought like binkies and stuff. He didn't favor those, so we ended up not using them. So really just the onesie, and then I did end up using a little name sign. I filled in like his name, his birth weight, so we could take a picture with that. If I could go back in time, I would probably just have like a name tag created off of Etsy. We have one coming because we're getting family photos taken in the next couple days, but I probably would have ordered one of those instead of having my handwriting on there, or maybe I would have brought a letterboard because I didn't end up liking my handwriting. It's just, but that's like really insignificant. So anyway, that's the stuff that I ended up using. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you have any questions, let me know in the comment section below. Again, I'll try to link everything in the description box. We're just so over the moon, and I'm sure you guys can tell by like the way that I'm talking that I'm still like on cloud nine. But we're just super stoked to have a new addition in our home, and I appreciate you guys watching this video. Thank you for the well wishes, and we're super excited to start this journey as a family of 4, including Iggy. So thanks again, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye.